If we fell out, who gon' be there, who gon' ride for you? If I fall off, would you still be my dog? I knew it's all conditional, I'm knowing you don't know me. Forgot my wishes, shit, I'm chillin', I'm lonely. If we fell out, who gon' be there, who gon' ride for you? If I fall off, would you still be my dog? I knew.
Right before I pressed that record button, I sneezed. And that's the type of sneezes that like hurts the throat or hurts like the chest. And every time I sneeze, I always think of like Osmosis Jones. That movie. If you haven't seen that movie, you can go ahead and unsubscribe right now. That's all I'm saying. But I feel like every time I sneeze or like every time I get sick or I feel like anything dealing with the body, I think of Osmosis Jones and like a lot that's happening in a couple of seconds. But though. I saw the man with skulls. Wow.
This story took place months ago. I had a friend. Let me just call his name as Cheese while I'm telling the story.
Okay.
So whenever Cheese and I got bored in those days, we usually went to the forest to discover new routes and places near our houses.
Right.
Sometimes we reached a gated property and we entered the property through the forest. It was so much fun to see that the security guard didn't know that we were coming in and going out. However, this incident changed everything, and we never went to another place since that day. One day it was kind of late on that day, and we were riding our bike as usual. The sky got darker and darker, and we passed through the forest, bushes, and unpaved roads. The forest was so thick that we could hardly see any source of light. Thanks to my mom, she had told me to take my phone with me, and I could move forward, turning on the flashlight. Then, all of a sudden, we heard a rustling noise in the bushes. We stopped and both turned our eyes to it. Cheese stared.
My hand smells like caramel. I don't know how to feel about that, but y'all dead ass just did that. Y'all dead ass. It's dark as shit outside. You're on bicycles. You hear something, you know what I mean, out over there somewhere, and then you stop dead in your tracks instead of haul ass it. Clearly, both of y'all had the club gene, and it's only natural that y'all get clunked up.
Stared at me with shivering eyes and said, "Hey, why don't we just go back?" I don't know what gave me the courage to say, "But we're almost halfway, I guess. Let's go forward." So we began to move again, riding our bike. But Cheese suddenly stopped, and I could see the frightened look on his face. I also stopped at the spot and looked where his eyes were headed. Something was in front of us. My mouth was wide open when I saw an old man standing alone and muttering something. We couldn't hear anything, but we could read his lip movements in the bright light of the fire he set around. Then Cheese pointed his finger at something. I noticed that something was wrong. There were someone's skulls forming a circle around him.
Wow.
You can't imagine how I got terrified at that time. It was impossible for us to run away because the old man was blocking our way. He slowly turned his body toward us and said something like this:
"We need some more sacrifice."
Then he pulled out his pocket knife and ran toward us. I knew I had to think fast. Screaming, I took my helmet off and threw it at his face. And Cheese grabbed a big stone on the road and threw it at him at the same time. He dodged my helmet, but fortunately the stone got him accurately. He hit his head hard by the stone and fell down on the road. And we turned our cycles back and drove off as fast as we could without looking back. The next day we checked that same place, but neither the man nor the circle of skulls remained. We've kept this story secret, but to this day I always think of the same thing. What would have happened to me if Cheese hadn't have thrown that stone at the old man? Who was he? And what was he doing? I have no idea.
Oh shit, that dance. You know, if he wanted some more sacrifices, he could have sacrificed himself. Just saying. And y'all kind of miss me with that, he blocked y'all path, so y'all couldn't really go nowhere. Just turn around. Or go anywhere else except where he's at. What? Ugh, I ain't like that. And I feel like the security guard in the beginning of this story was in cahoots. Yeah. Shit. He could have sacrificed the security guard. But one of them, or both of them, has the club gene. And I wouldn't put it past you that one of them even thought about going back to that spot. But, nah. You got it. Keep it cool, keep it classy, and I love you. Stay happy, my family.